Good day everyone, I am Bambini Sanyel together with Sarah Lee Bautista, and we are the Chapter 8 reporters, and we are going to report about the Task 1 environmental scanning. So there are 6 tasks to be done in developing the strategic plan. So we are just going to report about the first task. So the author believes that meaningful and effective strategic management plans should be done, premised and anchored in doing the series of tasks. So task 1 is the environmental scanning. Task 2 is the setting vision and mission statement. And 3, setting strategic objectives. 4, crafting strategies. 5, implementing and executing strategies. And 6 is the performance evaluation and revisions. So in this report, we are just focusing on the first task, the environmental scanning. So the nature of environmental scanning. In the context of strategizing for the purpose of making the business organization competitive and sustainable over a long-term period, environmental scanning is extremely important, and that should be seriously taken into account in the course of developing the strategic plan. So environmental scanning is critical in the sense that business organization has to be responsive to the prevailing and upcoming situations or scenarios. If the plan is not responsive to the needs of the time, and if it cannot adapt to the realities of the ever-changing world, the business or any organization for that matter is doomed to failure or destined to close up. So the environment is one that business has to live with. So what is environmental scanning? So it is a process that takes into account both external and internal environment as espoused by Whelan and Hunger, as well as Report and Jaworski. So it takes into consideration the macro and micro environment in light of a variety of factors external to the firm or those parameters outside the business organizations that will directly and indirectly affect the conduct of the business. So to name a few, it covers the social, political, cultural, legal, economic, technological, and geopolitical consideration. Knowing that the globalized conduct of business and the major role played by computers and internet are matters that should be considered too. So, environmental scanning covers a broader context as it involves evaluating, monitoring, and dissemination of information from the external and internal environments to key people within their corporation. So its purpose is to identify strategic factors, those external and internal elements that will determine the future of the corporation. So the macro environment. The macro environment is essentially refers to all forms of direct and indirect factors of overall environment conditions at large considered external and outside the business organization. To overall environment of the company is actually the world where it operates. So diagrammically, the macro environment takes the form that is shown in figure 59. So we can see the company and its suppliers, substitute products, buyers, rival firms, new entrants, substitute products, and the immediate industry and competitive environment, such as the general economic conditions, legislation and regulations, the societal values and lifestyles, and technologies. So the environmental variables. So in figure 60, so in a more detailed presentation, Whelan and Hunger present concentric diagrams in doing environmental scanning in macro and micro contexts as shown in figure 60. So as shown in figure 60, the business organization is part of a large environment with active forces in the area of sociocultural, economic, and political, legal, and technological developments. Within the broader context of the so-called societal environment is the task environment with direct bearing on the conduct of the business. So the societal environment, important variables. So the economic, it's the GDP trends. So the interest rates, money supply, inflation rates, unemployment levels, wages price controls. Technological, the total government spending for research and development, and the total industry spending for research and development focus on technological efforts. And in the political legal, so it is the laws, so antitrust regulations, environmental protection laws, tax laws, special incentives, foreign trade regulations, attitudes towards foreign companies, law on hiring, the promotions. So the social culture are for the environment, the birth rates, the life changes, career expectations, lifestyle changes, consumer activism, rate of family formation, growth rate of population. So these are the societal environment important variables. And some important variables in the international societal environment. So the economic, the technological, political, legal, social, cultural. So so the economic factors. The economic factors or forces referred to in the table 3 and 4. So identifying quantitative parameters relevant to the business perspectives. So analysis of the macro environment necessitates consideration of the key economic indicators that will affect the business directly and indirectly. So there are relevance of key economic features. So the economic features are market size, uh, market growth rate, capacity, surpluses or shortage, industry profitability, entry or exit barriers, product, uh, big ticket item for buyers, standard products, capital requirements, vertical integration, economies of scale, uh, rapid product innovation. So the market size is the small markets don't tend to attract new firms or large markets. So in the market growth rate is the fast growth breeds new entry, slow growth spawns increase in rivalry and shakeout of weak rivals. So the capacity of surpluses pushes price and profit margins down, or shortage pull them up. So industry profitability, it is the high profit industries attract uh, new rivals, and depressed conditions uh, lead to exit. So entry and exit barriers. So strategic importance any is high barriers protect positions and profits the existing firms. Low barriers make existing firms vulnerable to entry. So product is big ticket item for buyers. So strategic importance is more buyers will shop for lowest price. So standard products. Buyers have more products power because it's easier to switch from seller to seller. So rapid technological change is the importance niya kay raises risk. Investment in technology facilities may become obsolete before they wear out. So, so capital requirements. So big requirements make investments decisions critical. Timing and becomes important, creates barrier to entry and exit. Vertical integration raises capital requirements, often creates competitive and cost differences among partially and non-integrated firms. Economies of scale increases volume and market shares needed to be cost competitive. Rapid product innovation shortens product life cycle, increases risk because opportunities for leapfrogging. So SWOT analysis. Though it appears as a very simple tool for analysis, SWOT analysis has become a popular tool for doing qualitative analysis of a potential business organization, particularly in the context of assessing their competitiveness. So SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So in relation to the strategic management, the strengths and weaknesses components of the SWOT represents the internal environment. So whereas the opportunities and strength it composes for the external environment. So a strength is something a firm does well and a characteristic that enhances its competitiveness. So it consists of valuable competencies, valuable physical assets, valuable human assets, valuable organizational assets, valuable intangible assets, important competitive capabilities, and the attribute that places a company in a position of market advantage. So weaknesses. It is something that a firm lacks, does poorly, or a conditional placing it in a disadvantage. So weaknesses are deficiencies of the firm which are considered competitive liabilities. Weaknesses of the firms, for example, is the deficiencies in know-how, expertise, and competencies. Lack of important physical, organizational, intangible assets, and the missing capabilities in key areas. Opportunities. It refers to situations where there are from potentials from developing into products or service from other business opportunities. Threat is usually come in the form of internal and external factors that may put firm in uncompromising situation. So the following examples are emergence of cheaper and better technologies, introduction of better products by rivals, intensifying competitive pressures, uh, onerous regulations, rise in the interest rates. So this is the diagram. So the environmental appraisal. So it is divided into internal and external. So the internal is the meaning the internal inside the company. So there's the strength and weaknesses. So the external environment appraisal is the opportunity like the uh, outside the company, like the competitors. Those are the opportunities and threats. SWOT diagram as tool for analysis. So potential of hostile takeover, unfavorable demographic shifts, adverse shifts in foreign exchange rates, and political upheaval in a country. So what to look for in a SWOT? As to what to look for in a course of doing SWOT analysis for the firm, there's a table 6 that will help us guide. So table 6 analysis, what to look. So potential resource strength is the powerful strategy, strong financial conditions, strong brand name, image, the cost advantages, strong advertising, uh, and others. And the potential resource weaknesses, for examples, are the obsolete, obsolete facilities, no clear strategic direction, weak balance sheet or excess debt, higher overall cost than rivals, missing some key skills, and others. And potential company opportunities. Examples are serving additional customer groups, expanding to new geographic areas, expanding product line, transferring skills to new products, vertical integration, and others. And the potential external threats. Examples are the entry of potential competitors, loss of sales to substitutes, slowing market growth, adverse shifts in exchange rates and trade policies, costly new regulations, vulnerability to business cycle. So that's the some examples for the SWOT. And for to continue our report, uh, here's Sarah Lee Bautista for the remaining pages. Thank you and good day.